As the Global Environment Facility enters GEF 9, we do so at a time of profound change, increasing pressures and instability. The sprint towards 2030 demands transformation faster, deeper, and at scale. Sustainability depends on the interconnected relationships among environment, society, and the economy. Often these aren't treated equally, and environment and people shrink in comparison to economic concerns. But more than 1/2 of the world's economy, $50 trillion, depends directly on the environment, and it is central to equity and prosperity. The latest global assessments send us clear messages. We need transformational change. Incremental change is not enough. And transformation requires integrated solutions that simultaneously tackle progress across systems, across food, across energy, water, land, and livelihoods. Over GEF 7 and GEF 8, the STAP has focused our work on 3 priorities: pursuing resilience and enduring impact, innovation, enabling new approaches and embracing calculated risk, and always knowledge and learning, leveraging evidence to improve outcomes through adaptive management. These are some of our products during GEF 7 and 8. Everything from improving project design with systems thinking, evaluating a range of future narratives, incorporating behavioral change, best practices in natural capital approaches, circular economy, monitoring, evaluation, and learning. STAP's advice contributed directly to the adoption of climate risk screening, theories of change, and risk appetite frameworks, while also shaping the shift towards integration and systems-based approaches. The big cover in the middle was our early advice in 2024 as we began the push towards GEF 9. As STAP looks to GEF 9, several priorities have emerged. They're covered in the new Assembly report and recognize that the GEF 9 programming and policy documents incorporate much of our earlier advice. Our 7 recommendations are: first, for the entire GEF portfolio, develop an overarching theory of change that demonstrates how integrated programs and partnerships and projects collectively contribute to systems transformation. Second, strengthen investment in innovation, not only technological innovation, but also policy, institutional, financial, and business innovation. That means a higher risk appetite for innovation. Third, foster policy coherence across ministries, sectors, countries, and the multilateral environmental agreements. Fourth, improve the social foundations needed for transformation by expanding financing and participation opportunities for civil society, Indigenous peoples, women, and youth. Expanding on that one, STAP had workshops with GEF's Inclusive Conservation Initiative and the Indigenous Peoples Advisory Group. Our report made 5 recommendations: bridge knowledge systems, reinforce rights and free, prior, and informed consent processes, strengthen participation in GEF's governance, co-design projects and programs, expand finance that can help move vision to actual implementation. Fifth, influence market transformations with others to shift corporate and regulatory actions towards more nature-positive outcomes. Sixth, in GEF 9, monitor that systems transformation is occurring with indicators so we understand how and what change is occurring. Seventh, build on lessons learned from our experience with integrated programs, share tools, and network learning. Learn from both successes and failures. STAP also has thoughts on principles and pathways to help with navigating GEF 9. Our synthesis across 5 global assessments shown here helped identify 6 principles on sustainability transition. Human-nature relationships shift societal values to restore balance between humans and nature. Just transitions. To be equitable and just, we need transformational change. Inclusive governance is essential, recognizing diverse actors and knowledge systems and values. Systems thinking to tackle the interconnectivity of planetary crises and drivers, identifying pathways to change with necessary actions, choices, and feedback, and adaptive learning to navigate complexity and sometimes changing conditions and risk. Going forward, STAP will continue supporting the GEF through 3 strategic pathways. Applying, of course, the latest evidence-based scientific insights, continuing to screen and evaluate the project's quality and be sure innovation risk is increasing, and providing continued support to improve adaptive management and learning. These pathways are interactive and reinforcing. Applying the latest evidence can sharpen strategic prioritization that can improve project design, and learning can feed back into the future cycle. GEF is focusing on addressing whole systems as shown in the center, and the integrated programs are meant to be transformational. In the outer partial circles, we see GEF's strong focus on levers in the dark blue, as well as the needed dimensions of an accelerated, sustainable, and just transition. Whole of government and whole of society are key. Breaking policy silos, harnessing synergies, and making nature a market asset are all critical. And we have seen, for example, that the Sustainable Cities Integrated Program, now in its 3rd phase, is linking infrastructure, biodiversity, and businesses as a system. We need more of this. And here are the latest STAP publications produced for this week's council. They range from transformation principles to the hydrological cycle, to that assembly report I mentioned, to tackling illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, case studies on antimicrobial resistance and batteries, and emerging technologies. We hope these publications strengthen the bridge between science and decision making. And finally, in this slide are pictures of various sectors and places where the GEF is targeting transformational activities. Just to point out 3, the fishermen. The GEF is working with 15 small island developing states through the Blue and Green Island Integrated Program. The rhinos relate to the GEF's first performance bond, the Rhino Bond, a hallmark of its blended finance program. And the wildlife corridor to the left of the car shows efforts by the Integrated Program on Sustainable Transportation. GEF is well on its way. Let's get us all to the 2030 finish line. Thank you very much.